Welcome back to the second episode of the brand new Turnbuckle Chuckle Wrestling Podcast. We have Poolside Pat and Professor Parlay here. We probably got to change our names for this. I'm not going to lie. But if
Probably.
you watch us on Just the Bet Slips, you usually are watching us give sports bets. Today, we are just talking about wrestling. We're going to do a breakdown for SmackDown, breakdown for Raw, and talk about some stuff in between. Probably will be a quicker show than it was last time, but we wanted to go ahead and get this episode up this week. C Money is not here today. He has been dealing with some stuff, so hopefully we get him back next week. But that being said, what do you got going on today, Pat?
No, not much. Obviously, if you're, thanks for joining us. If you've watched us earlier, and not much. I mean, I guess what is even the next PLE?
It is Night of Champions.
Oh yeah, for the King of the Ring winners,
Yeah.
King and Queen. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess the build is happening, and nothing. I don't think anything too crazy happened in the world of wrestling. The whole CM Punk stuff that was going on today kind of got weird and wild, but I think at the end of the day, nothing came of it. But no, just kind of hanging out. It's a good week of wrestling, good week of good month so far of sports gambling that we do on the other show. I'm ready to talk about our first ever SmackDown review. That's fun.
Right. Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, me personally, I would wish it was a little bit better SmackDown for us to review, but there were a couple good things. I think it was just overall it was not over the top booking for SmackDown. Um, I don't know. I don't know if they're holding back on some of the bigger names for this build. I don't know. The promos kind of carried SmackDown. I'm not gonna lie. Uh,
Oh, speaking of which, before we get deeper into SmackDown and Raw, um, I did want to say, or I did want to do. I don't have a name for it yet, but I wanted to start off shows with just like a thought starter question about wrestling for you,
mhm,
Steve, and then obviously I want to answer too. Um, I don't know why I thought about this, but I did mention PJ Matthews. I'm not allowed to say that on the other show, but I can say that here. I did mention him today to my coworkers, and it just got me thinking. What if you? And I just want one. I know it's hard. I know it's a difficult question, but because I have a handful I could pick from, but I do have my number one for sure. If you could be live, and I'm not going to say like a specific seat, whatever the best seat in the house for you is at a wrestling show or whatever, like you get to sit wherever you want, in whatever scenario you want. Well, you're there. You're there where it happened, all that. One match in the history of professional wrestling that
oh,
you could attend in like a perfect scenario. What match? I mean, you could list a handful and then come to your ultimate decision if you want. I think would be that's kind of what I'm looking for. I mean, I could start if you want.
yeah, go
Uh,
ahead, because I got to think
I mean, I
about this one.
mentioned last time this isn't my number one, but one of them just to kind of get the thoughts going would have been the first match that I remember seeing because I think in this like hypothetical, I would be whatever age I am now or whatever age I want to be at this. It's a perfect scenario. That's why I said that. It's like one moment in time that you at any time in your life could be at. That's why it's number one. Would be Shawn Michaels and Brett. Which is not my be all end all. The Iron Man match. I think at 4 years old I would have fallen asleep. But you know, if I could relive that now, I mean that'd be awesome. I think uh, I think Mick Foley and Taker, King of the Ring. I think that's one too.
Yo,
Uh, what about you?
so
I do want one like one. But we could talk more if you want.
I have my one. Um, it's actually not as hard now that I think about it, just because everybody knows that I'm a Sting guy. So for me, it's probably Clash of Champions, March 27th, 1988. It was the biggest match between Ric Flair and Sting that kind of launched Sting into superstardom. Like he became well known because of that match. It was like a 45 minute time limit, like no holds barred match. That they left everything in the ring that day. And to be there for kind of the beginning of his rise would be kind of awesome.
That's their first team, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, used to I went down rabbit hole of Ric Flair back in the day. His matches with Sting are legendary.
Yeah.
Um, that's not a bad one, especially being a Sting guy. Mine, I do really have two. Now, and I'll go with no. It's Michaels and Taker, WrestleMania 25. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's the greatest wrestling match of all time. It's my favorite wrestler, even though he lost. Even if I went into that with the knowledge, just to say but I know a couple people that were there that were at WrestleMania 25. Um, that would probably be it. I was actually at the Taker Triple H Hell in a Cell in
Oh, wow.
Miami. Yeah, well, I was at that WrestleMania. That match was crazy. But yeah, nothing comes close to Taker and Michaels at Mania. Then there's a lot. There's a lot. I mean, I'm sure you could do a top 10 of just Sting matches.
I would say second on my list to go away from WCW/Sting would be 2000 Rumble when Cena made his return, which is probably the largest pop in return history. After he came off of that injury uh, that they thought was going to take
Which
Cena.
one?
The Cena returned to the Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah, I was there for that.
2008. Yeah, that one, like that pop was probably one of the loudest things anybody's ever heard, even with these international crowds.
It was so weird, man. Because obviously, it was a birthday party, and I was 16, I think it was at the time. It was actually on my birthday, and obviously huge in wrestling. 08 was like the sweet spot for me. And me and my friends. When I eventually found other friends that liked wrestling. So yeah, we went to that Rumble. Nobody even mentioned the word Cena going into it.
Yeah, no, I mean it was first of all, it was kind of before you could really get a scoop on these things. Yeah. Secondly, everybody thought he was going to be out for an additional 6 or 7 months.
Yeah,
there's nobody even the thought of him coming back. That's why it
was crazy. Nobody, and that's why, like I say, if anybody that was there that night like claims that they called it or no, you didn't. You didn't. Nobody knew. It was the loudest, and I've been to a couple Manias. I've been to obviously sporting events over the years. Nothing like a finals or anything like that, but or a playoff game for that matter. But I was there when Pujols came back. With the Cardinals, packed house opening day. I've been in loud environments. Loudest pop I've ever heard by far, and it was not even. It was like a lot of cheering, but it was more of like like the gasp.
Right, it was the shock.
You can hear like people at the same time going like, "Oh my god!" like breathing in and "Oh my god!" like
right.
That. I'll never forget that sound, and it wasn't even really a sound. But I'm sure you remember this because this was Super Cena time. It almost like it was the craziest, awesome cheer. Everybody was freaking out, loving it, and then gets in the ring, immediate like Cena sucks.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. I remember yelling at people around, and I was a kid, but I remember yelling at people around us that I had to immediately turn on them. Like, you literally just went nuts for this guy, and now here you are saying he sucks. Like, what is going on?
Well, it was part of the stick for him though. Like, people love to hate him.
But it's like you just saw one of the coolest moments in wrestling history, and then you immediately boo the guy who just came back from an unbelievable injury, mind you, probably steroids, whatever, I don't care, or some amazing miracle surgery we've never heard of. But no, that's a good one, and I do have the luxury that I was there. But if I hadn't been there, I would have said the same thing.
I will give an honorable mention to something that's not a match, but to be there for CM Punk's original pipe bomb would have been pretty nice too.
Ooh, yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, promos would be a fun one to do too. We don't have to do that right now, but just being there, like HBK, Sean and Jannetty. Yeah. I think that was in front of the live studio. I'm pretty sure it was. It had to have been.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yeah, I'm almost positive it was in front of the live studio audience. Yeah, that would be cool. Pipe bomb is good. What's another like one more, and then we'll move on to SmackDown or Raw. But this went exactly how I thought it would be. It would be fun to do one with C Money.
Um,
What promo? Oh, I know. I've got probably 1-1 would be Hogan after he turned.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
just throwing all the trash, like being in that crowd and throwing trash at the outsiders and him. That would have been awesome. Or just Scott Hall in general
Yeah,
showing up in WCW.
a lot of the early NWO had a lot. There was a lot of
Yeah,
them.
I can't really think of many WWE. Pipe bomb.
Maybe when the Austin 316 started during that promo that Stone Cold did.
Oh yeah, King of the Ring. Yeah,
That would have been
that
that.
very. I know. I don't think you did it on purpose, but that was very good at King of the Ring.
That's right.
The King of the Ring.
It was not on purpose, but it worked.
Oh, it's a good segue to SmackDown if you want to get started on SmackDown.
Well, speaking of King of the Ring, the two matches SmackDown had Dirty Dom and Raquel Rodriguez advancing in the men and women's King of the Ring. I think they got both of those right for those matches. To be honest, they're still trying to push Raquel, and I think eventually they're going to have her turn on the Judgment Day. I mean, I think they pushed it longer than I think they originally wanted to.
Yeah,
but I think it's eventually going to happen. So they're going to need to build her up in order to make that believable. So I had.
Do you think she's? I mean, she did come up as a face actually with Liv Morgan. Or no, well, she wasn't with Liv Morgan in NXT. I forget who she was with.
She was decent. She was okay as a face. I think she's bigger. She will go bigger as a heel though. I think it just makes more sense for her. And seems to be she gets more reception as a heel than she ever did as a face. She had people as a face that like loved her, but then that was just like a niche group.
Yeah, I guess how would, and I'm wondering how. Yeah, I mean you're definitely right. Clearly she's. I think we're getting. Didn't you? Was it you who gave your prediction? I forget if it was you. Who the finals is going to be in the women's side? Did you give that last week?
No, that wasn't me. That was what did we talk about? Maybe we didn't. I don't remember, to be completely honest with you.
I could have sworn, or maybe I must have heard it from. I thought it was you, but that we're going to see. Oh, it was the Charlotte take. That Charlotte and Alexa. That's what you said.
Oh yeah.
Which obviously we'll get to it, but not going to be the case. But that's
right.
But yeah, I mean, I think Raquel's over Bailey. Bailey's obviously doesn't really matter if she loses. Kiana James, that was the Julia stuff. That happened.
Right.
Well, I don't think Jason Jane's been doing well, but she wasn't right. I think Raquel was the obvious choice. And then who was the other one again?
It was Dirty Dom, and like that. Speaking of probably one of the there may not be a lot of true heels, but he is one, and I've never heard a guy get booed louder than that guy gets booed. It's wild.
Yeah. Like Trick and Braun are certainly the favorites going into that too, but then obviously what happened, and Dom, I think. We'll talk about it when we get to Raw, but I think that a lot of interesting. The build has started off very slow. I think, but at the same time, I think the direction that we might be headed could be pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be a ton of storylines that come out of all these matches. The ones who lose, the people who get cost their chance. Like I think you're going to have a lot of storylines that branch off of this. Run is a kind of a thing that gets buried in this King of the Ring. People just focus on who wins, and they don't pay attention to the build of all these other matches that end up happening at like SummerSlam or down the road.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the biggest ones we're going to see a little bit further into this tournament. But I think both of those they got right. I think they did those the way they really kind of had to do those. I think that Dirty Dom has to move on, and he has to go pretty deep in this thing, just because of people. It's kind of the love to hate. People hate him so much. Well, they don't even hate him. They just boo him so loud because it's cool to boo him that loud. I think they actually do really like him. Yeah. But yeah, I think they got both of those right. The matches themselves, like it was Ricky Saints versus Carmelo Hayes. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I I feel like they fumbled the bag with Carmelo Hayes already, and it's already early in his career. Um,
Um,
I just feel like he has there's no push. I mean, he had a little bit of one, but it was so short lived that like it almost didn't happen. And
yeah.
Ricky Saints, I know that they tried to act like he was this huge signing. I don't know.
I forget what his name was even in AEW.
Yeah, no, it was it'll come to me. Give me a second.
Ricky. Well, I think it was Ricky, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
But I mean, I see what you're saying with Hayes, and I mean, just the match itself was good. I mean, both these
Yeah,
guys
it
are
was.
very, very
100%.
good. And I do think that it's building towards it's not on this level, so don't I'm not saying that this is they're anywhere close to this, but it kind of reminding me of what they did with Cesaro and Sheamus when they had like their like 7 round or best of 7 series. Well, I think they did best of 7. Um, and
It
obviously
was
that was different.
It was
That
Ricky
was
Stark.
giant men beating the crap out of each other. These are like smaller, more athletic guys. Because it's not. I don't think it's over. I think they're going
No,
to
it's
have
not.
one
No.
more,
Yeah,
probably a Night of Champions.
yeah,
Maybe. I don't know. I think I think you could be onto something, but I think we see how this ends, and then we'll kind of know both these guys where both these guys are headed, if it's even anywhere.
right.
But I think
Um,
we just see how that their little feud, their little rivalry plays out, and then we can kind of see if either one is going to have a spot on SummerSlam. Because I think that's what we're that's the main build
right.
toward they're building towards is
Yeah.
putting together SummerSlam. And we'll talk about it this more, but I mean, it's still one of the big four, in my opinion, pay-per-views.
Oh,
Uh,
100%. To me, honestly, for me, it's like this. It's the second largest.
yeah, and I think
It's
that they treat it like that too.
the summer. It's the WrestleMania of the summer, is basically what
Yeah,
I.
I think that they still treat it like that. I think Rumble has fallen to 3, and I was 3 Hour Series has seen better days. I mean, I know that they do war games and whatnot, but I miss like traditional Survivor
Yeah,
Series
yeah, I get
matches.
that.
That's neither here nor there. But yes, I mean, if they're building towards SummerSlam, and I guess we'll find out if Saints or Hayes is going to have a spot, and if they do, then that means they're probably in good stead. Like Danhausen's going to do something at SummerSlam,
Oh, of course, yeah, he'll be
like
there.
obviously. Um,
It was Ricky
yeah,
Starks,
no, I mean,
W, by the way.
was that the only other match? Oh no, then there was Charlotte and Tiff.
There was Lash Legend and Chelsea Green.
Oh yeah, that one too. Yeah.
I was a little I know they're trying to push Lash, but I was a little surprised they put her over Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green kind of feels like Kofi Kingston, the female version of Kofi Kingston. She gets popular, but they use her to put other people over.
I do think she's about to go. I think they're going to start slowly trying to. She was on both SmackDown and Raw.
Yeah,
I think that they're going to slowly try and turn her. I don't know if she could ever be like a complete face. I don't know if we really have those anymore, but I think they're going to start leaning into her being more of a crowd favorite type of play.
yeah. I mean, they need to because she gets big pops every time she's
Yeah,
out there.
exactly.
She is entertaining. She's very good in the ring.
Yeah.
So and I don't know. I've been on the fence with Lash ever since she
Same.
came to NXT. I don't really have a firm opinion on whether I did like or dislike at this moment, but nothing has like wowed me to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, I really like her. I understand, like physically, I understand what she could be. I just don't know if it's gonna be believable for me yet. The other match, which I barely want to mention, is Tala Tonga and Royce Keys. Like, what that match? Ugh,
Oh yeah.
ugh.
Yeah. Don't even. Yeah, we
That was a bathroom break match.
got to move on from that one. I like
Yeah, I'm not
Royce.
gonna talk about it, but I just had to bring it up because it was a match.
It was a match. I totally forgot that happened.
But yeah, I mean, so SmackDown, there was like some good matches in there. There's some decent promos. They got the King of the Ring stuff was right, but overall SmackDown was just kind of I don't know. It was an average show for me. It wasn't terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but it just wasn't what you want to see on a weekly basis. To me, it was more like a B minus if I was to rate SmackDown.
Yeah, I tend to be close with. I mean, oh, there was only really one other thing I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
Chad Gable.
Oh yeah, that was amazing. That part was amazing.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to have a lot of fun stuff to do with him now.
Yeah, me
He's
too.
getting the pop that he deserved before. Like that's a guy I really wish they actually would do more with.
Yeah.
So I agree with you.
More for Raw. Yeah.
I actually forgot that was SmackDown and not Raw.
Well, it was both. I think he.
Yeah, but his comeback and all that stuff with him I think is going to be a fun build to watch.
That pop was unbelievable.
Yeah. Especially when he came in to help Ray.
And he is just objectively one of the best, like, pure wrestlers in wrestling.
The fact that they made him run through Rusev the way they did was wild.
Oh, dude, those Germans, yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Yeah, we can get to Raw.
We can save it. It's just, it made me think of that, and I was like, yo, he was just tossing.
Oh, yeah. I definitely wanted it. We got to talk about that. I think I would agree. I don't mean to like do echo chamber, but I think B- is right where I would say, because there's nothing like offensive that happened. There was nothing like horrible. It was just like slow build. We're very clearly in the beginning of a slow burn build towards Night of Champions and eventually SummerSlam. It doesn't really feel like a Night of Champions build right now. It feels like it just feels like we're building to SummerSlam.
Well, the problem with Night of Champions is all the matches are belt matches except for the King of the Ring. So like a lot of these guys who aren't going to be in belt contention don't really have a build. They're building for SummerSlam, so it's going to be a super slow build. So that's
nobody ever loses that night. Nobody ever loses their belt at Night of Champions. I've noticed over the years. Very rarely.
So it depends. What I've noticed is there's either almost everybody does or nobody does in the show. Like it's rarely like kind of a 50-50 split type thing. Usually lately it's been like one. I think it's been like one title changes hands and the rest of them don't. To be fair, because they're building the SummerSlam and they don't want to take away from SummerSlam.
Mess too much. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have to see. We'll keep
like a back and forth that makes sense. But
go be mine. Solid show. Nothing bad. There was like, I think honestly, the two King of the Rings were both really good. I liked Saints. I know you said that it was good too. Saints and Hayes was a good match. We just don't know where the two guys are going. And then Chad Gable and the Danhausen Miz stuff was silly.
Yeah.
Shout out to Danhausen. But hopefully
it's always entertaining whether it's silly or not, though. So.
What's that?
As he's always entertaining whether it's silly or not. That's the best part about Danhausen. So.
And Chad Gable.
I'm happy about it.
Chad Gable rules, but yeah, we can move on to Raw.
But yeah, so Raw, the King Queen ring of the ring there, that was Evans and Liv Morgan. I think Liv Morgan might have surprised some people. I think that people are surprised that, like, because she doesn't need that push. She's got other storylines she can go with. So people were a little shocked by that. I get it though. I really do. She's so hot right now. I don't think she gets to the finals of it. I don't think, but I think that maybe this is how they get Liv Raquel Rodriguez versus each other or something. Maybe that's what they end up doing. I don't know if they're in the same part of the bracket or not. But maybe that's what we're getting out of this, and that's what starts the rivalry. And if so, it makes a lot more sense.
Isn't Liv the champion?
Right, that's what I'm saying. So that's what made it. I mean, I guess she could go for the other belt, but like,
true.
I don't know. Like, I'm thinking it's probably setting up the Raquel versus Liv. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. And if they do that, that makes sense because then it'll start whatever push they're trying to do. Evans, I was actually pretty shocked by. I was and wasn't. Like he was in my mind that they might use this spot to push him, but it's just not a thing WWE does. Like I feel like they kind of got it right if you're trying to push this guy. This was a spot for him to win, and the way they did it worked out great. And I like him, and I think that a lot of people are hoping they get Evans versus Obo because anybody who watched those matches at NXT, there's some of the craziest matches that you would ever see in NXT. So I think the hopefulness of that also makes it worthwhile seeing him win. I don't know how you feel about Evans, but
Oh yeah, no, I mean he's very bouncy.
he's very
I
bouncy.
I think he's in a top. I think that's exactly where they're going is Oba and Evans.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense to carry that over from NXT.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like some type of maybe they're the first two African Americans to main event a King of the or be in a King of the Ring finals. I don't know,
Right.
but I'm sure either way, we know it's good. It would be a great match, and I think that win or lose, neither guy. I think. Well, I think Oba would. Well, that's how I'm talking a lot. Let me slow down. If what we think is going to happen, where Brock screws Oba, that's a good. That would then Javon Evans gets a freaking title shot at SummerSlam. That's how you make 2 stars at the same time.
Yeah, the only problem is I still think that they're going to push this Jey Uso thing, so the Bloodline has 2 belts. I don't. It's becoming less and less believable the more and more they become sidekicks again. But
Yeah.
if they really want the Bloodline, which we've already discussed that we don't want it to carry on forever, but like if they really want it to be believable again, they're going to have to get some kind of other belts on them too, whether it's the tag belts or whatever. And Roman's kind of given him this ultimatum to win this thing, so I wouldn't be shocked if he wins it, and maybe Brock helps him win by taking out Oba. But it could go either Evans or Evans is another way it could go if they end up not wanting to push that. I think speaking of this, sorry, hold on.
Oh, now here comes my dog. It's okay.
I have no clue what just triggered that dog.
It's all right. I left in all the C Money and the Echo. I just left it in. I was like, you know what? It's our first episode. It's kind of funny. So whatever. My dog's been barking all day too, and that's that's what's going to happen on Turnbuckle Chuckle. We don't take anything too seriously. Yeah. Last week I basically ranted about MFT for forever, and I still hate them. By the way, I hate them. I really do. They're on the other show for those that are listening. On Just Buses, we have a Dead to Me list, and I don't like putting people on there, but MFT as a whole is on my list. So that's just that's my first. They are my rivals, actually. Now that I think about it, the entirety of MFT. I totally forgot that what's his face was even in the Javon Evans match.
Yeah.
Do I have that wrong? It was Tala.
Yeah, he was in it. Yeah, he was. He got taken out by Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I just hate them. Whatever. Great win for Javon, and obviously Seth and Braun continues. Who knows where Ricky Saints goes from here?
Well, Saints did very well in that match too.
Yeah.
I think everybody that was supposed to do well. I mean, obviously Seth was going to do well in that match before he kind of got screwed by Vision. So I think everybody came through that was supposed to come through.
Yeah, I mean, and we can move on shortly, but I thought that the women's match was really, really good.
Yeah, I agree. It was. There was a lot of good spots. Like Alexa had a lot of crazy reversals, like that were like not just good, but they were like smart the way she pulled them off. Like pulling the Oblivion into the Sister Abigail was pretty fun.
Yeah, no, the four of them are top. I mean, I know right. Chelsea Green hasn't won much, but she's great wrestler. I mean, just 4 really solid women's wrestlers.
Yeah, 100%. That match was very good. We can kind of go through this one because I'm not gonna say I don't care, but I don't care. Penta versus Ray for the title.
It's a good match.
It's not that I don't care. It was a great match. And I grew up. I loved Ray. Um, Watching him get thrown like a spear by the Big Show off of a tractor trailer in WCW was probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yep.
Um, so I it's just Ray's kind of run his course, and he's although he's still like the main lucha, and that they're making him like the Godfather now, which is fine.
He's the new GM of AAA.
Right, as I'm saying, he's basically become the Godfather for all luchadors, which is fine because
Yeah.
WWE is starting to get more luchadors, which is great. But it's just I don't know, it's kind of playing out for me a little bit. I like Penta. I don't dislike Penta. I like Penta. I just how many times can we see Penta versus Rey Mysterio is the question, and still want to watch it. And I think that's the biggest issue is that they just keep pushing these guys against each other. And I wish they would get out of that. At least on, I get why they do it on AAA. That's what AAA is. But like on the main show, like it's fun to have it every now and then. But if you keep doing it over and over again, it gets old.
Um, I agree and disagree. I mean, I've never been a Ray guy. Let me just say that on the record. I think I said said it recently. I don't know if it was on the show, but I always used to get mad at him because he just couldn't stop doing steroids. But I did like that he came out with the long pants. That felt like
Yeah.
old school. And yeah, I mean, I'm a Penta guy for sure. I think this was more of a means to an end too, though, with the Gable stuff again, which again, Monster Pop. Um, so I agree with you though. Like let's pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that it happens. I don't mind that they keep doing it. It's just like you can't do it back to back to back to back. Like you need to have some bigger. Penta needs some bigger matches against some bigger guys. Like he needs to face somebody like a Randy Orton, like to make this run truly believable. Like I'm not
Yeah,
saying specifically Randy Orton, but somebody like him. Um, to make this run more believable and make it a little bit more legitimate. I mean, I like Penta, so that's why I really would like to see them kind of make him more legitimate than just facing luchadors and Carmelo Hayes and people like that.
yeah. I mean, and it was cool though. Just it was the first time they had wrestled in WWE,
Yeah, it
which
was. I
was
mean, it was the nostalgia of it was my. And then again, the match was amazing. They both did it. They both were like perfect on their timing with a lot of crazy moves that they pulled off.
yeah.
Um, so the match overall, like the match, I loved. I'm just saying, at some if they do this, if they try to beat this dead horse, it'll get old. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think I need to see more from Penta. By the way, Reyes doesn't need anything, and I think
Right, right.
I want to see Penta like keep facing other. I need him to get out of like the kind of where he's at.
Right, and that's kind of what I'm worried about is Penta, mainly
Yeah,
for Penta because he's got to
yeah,
get out of just this niche because he's not going to stay champion for long if he stays in
yeah.
this niche.
And because Ray doesn't have to win another match the rest of his career.
No, never, no.
Like
Um,
obviously he was not winning them. He was not going to beat Penta. But I think we could talk about it briefly. But Chad Gable, Monster Pop, I love that he's back to his American Alpha theme
yep,
song. It was so loud, but that was cool, and I think that's great for him. It's a good you know, I the thing about him though, first of all, so awesome. He was just tossing Rusev like he was nothing.
he
It
really
was
was.
awesome. Both of them. He was just dominating. And I love, he obviously has used the ankle lock before, but I like the idea of him. He should just, and he kind of already has, but he should just be the next just be Kurt Angle.
Right.
And he already is kind of a made man. I really hope they keep it up. But now I don't know, he could go heel next week and it wouldn't surprise me. Or he could continue to be like doing this whole trying to apologize thing. He could go any direction. I think it's really going to be fun to see what they do with him.
Yeah, I think that they end up bringing back Otis and Tozawa back into the fold. Just
Yeah,
it may not be what it was, but I think they bring them back. He bring both of them back because they kind of need something to do with those two anyway. Um, Outside of the Maxine Dupree because clearly they're doing something else with her
yeah,
pretty soon. Um, so they kind of need something for them to do. Maybe he tries to help them with Maxine or something, and that's what gets them back together. I don't know. Um,
I would even say get them together and then add the Creeds back with him
yeah,
too.
good.
Let him
Yeah,
just like
100%.
run like a whole big, one giant. I mean, he can do anything he wants. I think he's in that spot right now.
Yeah, I agree. We had what Soul versus Lyra, which actually was an amazing match too.
Yeah, yeah, good for both of them.
Probably one of the cleanest Soul Snatchers I've ever seen. And it was definitely the best one since she's been called up.
Yep.
That was, I mean, it was perfectly hit. The timing of it was amazing, and she hit it super clean. The backflip looked like she was floating. It was kind of wild.
Yeah.
And Lyra's always good in the
Yeah,
ring.
it's good to
So
see her. She'd been gone for a little while.
yeah, she got hurt. So it's good to see her getting back into bigger matches, and I'm glad that Soul is going to continue to get this push because she needs it. I mean, she deserves it. I feel like it's been. I know she had an injury too not long ago that took her out for a little while, but I felt like it was a long time coming for her.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for sure. And good for Soul to get. And it was for the title, right? Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
For the
it
title.
was. Yeah.
Bailey was all she was all pissy about it.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, I guess then was that it for the matches?
Mainly, I mean, we had LA Knight had another amazing promo.
Yes, yes. I did want to talk about that.
Uh, he just keeps getting. I mean, he's always been amazing and on the mic, but he just keeps getting better and better promos every week.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it, like, hopefully they go in the route that I think that they're going to go in. But something in this neighborhood, I am the chief. That was a good line. Obviously, just a straight up screw your family.
Yeah.
That was really good. And then it was very kind of not so subtle, but the way that he I mean, I know it was in Paris, whatever, but like an international crowd, whatever. But the way that he let the crowd go for a little bit,
Yeah.
and kind of stood there for a little bit longer than necessarily normal. I think he is trying to send a message to whoever the Triple H's of the world, whoever's running the show, pulling strings. So you hear that, he's still, despite not really doing too much or having much for him, anything he does, he makes awesome. And I think he's trying to say, you hear them, they still love me.
Well, I mean, to be fair, to his point, he has to do that because he's not young. He's in his 40s.
Yeah.
So if he's going to end up having a run, he needs to have it pretty soon.
I think he should. I think he should have it.
I am here for anything LA Knight that they want to do because I love him. I think he's amazing. I think he's great on the mic, and I think that no matter what, every time he's on TV, it's good TV. So, I'm here for whatever push they want to get. They should give him whatever push he needs to get there. Yep. When he first came in, he was so hot that I was like, "How did you not keep with this?"
I know.
Even if you just have to give him an Intercontinental Championship, who cares? Just give him one of these other belts.
Yeah.
That you may not be that invested into a storyline with, and shoot him to the moon. That's what you really need. You make him a main contender, then now you have a lot more believable stories going forward with some of these bigger titles.
They've had so many chances too, and just haven't.
They really have.
Yeah, no, that was great. And then I know he's not your guy, but I did want to. I was
going to touch on this before you get into that. So Oba is slightly growing on me.
Yeah.
His mic work has been actually very good.
Yeah, thank you. I knew you liked this. I knew you liked the promo.
So his promos are very good.
Yeah.
His stick still pisses me off, but outside of that, I do like his build up with Brock Lesnar coming in SummerSlam. Obviously.
Yeah.
I like a lot of what he does. I like his what he says on the mic. So I'm starting to slowly grow on Oba a little bit. I think once they move past whatever this early stick he's got going, because they will move past it at some point. Yeah. Maybe if he turns like a complete heel or something and just starts destroying people and injuring people or something, he'll switch. But I think his potential is through the roof. Even when I said I didn't like him, for me it was more just I wanted to see this guy really be what I think he can be, which is basically the newest version of Brock Lesnar and be as big as Brock Lesnar was at one point, because he has all the qualities and abilities to do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was just gonna say, well, I had a feeling you liked. I mean, just saying, what did he say? It was along the lines of we all know Mysterio is your father, but I'm going to show you who Daddy is, or whatever. Yeah. Oba's. I get where I love him. Obviously, we've talked about this, so I don't have to
Mhm.
talk about it again. You obviously just had said that he's starting to grow on you. He's. I just wrote down though, and I think that this is unequivocal. He's a star, and he's going to
Oh,
be a star.
yeah,
Like he
100%.
is
I
now.
I have
He's
no
going.
doubt about
Yeah, and it's just a matter of how he gets there. Shtick, whatever, if you like the shtick or not. Um,
that. I missed
yeah,
this early when he was telling us his match.
yeah. I mean, for sure, one of the best of all time as well. Shout out my guy HBK. Um, yeah, and you know what? For the sake of the question, you can still say that match, and we'll just pretend. Well, it was before the Benoit stuff, so
Yeah,
he wasn't that
it was.
Benoit. So whatever. But yeah, Oba star, and I'm actually really excited for that match, Dom and Oba.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm with you. I believe that the sky's is not the sky's the limit for this guy. I think he really can go to the moon if they want him, if they push him the right way, which I think they are giving him the right kind of push. This stuff with Brock Lesnar, will make him about as legitimate as you can make him, especially this early in his career, without giving him a title, obviously. Uh, so yeah, so we gave SmackDown a B minus. There was a few things we liked, but other than that, it was not like I think it was just too
what
much,
was
a
that?
lot
What
of
did he say?
stuff. He said he missed the SmackDown grade, but he thinks that Raw was like
Let's see.
yeah.
Yeah,
So we agree with you. We gave SmackDown a B minus. We have not done the grade for Raw yet. Me personally, I think I'm going to give Raw an A, and I think the promos did put it over the top. Um, but I mean, the Soul match was amazing. Um, both King and Queen of the Rings, both of those matches were like phenomenal. Um, and LA Knight and Oba's promos were amazing. I think those promos are combined with the big title matches and combined with the King and Queen of the Ring matches. I give it an A, maybe an A minus, but it was in that range. Like it wasn't the best show, but it was definitely a couple levels above what SmackDown was.
yeah. I'm gonna go A minus. I don't. It's a 90, so that's technically an A
Yeah, yeah,
minus.
yeah, 100%.
It was very close to being an 89. It was a high B plus, low A,
Yeah,
or A minus. So because I don't think it was necessarily a full letter grade better than SmackDown, but I think you kind of just covered it. I think match wise, it certainly was better, for sure. And then I think SmackDown had its moments, but I think um, Raw Raw was the two promos, the two main promos, really put it over the top.
yeah. I think that was that
Oh,
between
and
that.
Chad Gable. I know that's technically during a match, but that too. Chad's pop
The
also.
two promos, Chad Gable and the Lyra Soul match and the King and Queen of the Ring matches were kind of what put me over the top with it and
Yeah.
put it in the A minus A range.
Yep.
I
The
think
fact that Mysterio was like the worst match is crazy.
right.
But sure.
And I think where we're at in the build of everything is obviously at the lowest point is going to be of the build. So it makes sense that it wasn't over the top matches wise. SmackDown, they're going to have to ramp up pretty quickly though, because that was pretty like the match
Yeah.
wise kind of low on the total.
Actually, I think, and hopefully NXT and we agrees. I'm just putting this out there. Maybe you know how the games were called SmackDown vs Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Should we like? Should we like give Raw a point? Now Raw's up 1-0,
Oh, we could
and
do.
like based on what we think was the better show, like the video game.
Yeah, we could do that. Do
I
Raw
think
versus SmackDown every week.
so. Raw's up 1-0.
Yep.
And like if we like completely differ, we'll have to figure out how we score it. Like especially when C Money's here. But I think that'd be fun. And then this time next year, if God willing, if we're still doing the show, we can tally it all up and see who won.
Yeah, 100%. I'm down for that.
Cool.
I think this time it was easy because I think Raw was clearly better.
I think it was clearly. It was fair. It was definitely clearly better. Yeah.
Yeah, so this time was easy. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on outside of that? I know we started
When
with.
is night? Do you know when Night of Champions is? Is it this month?
I'm sure it is. Let me look because I think
Gotta
SummerSlam
be, right?
is in July. So
Oh yeah, because July is Money in the Bank.
Night of Champions
Pretty sure.
is June 27th.
Oh wow. 2 weeks from this weekend.
And no, Money in the Bank's not until September 6th.
Oh really? Then what's in July?
I don't know. July. SummerSlam's August 1st and 2nd. July.
That I knew. That's in Vegas again, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Or it's in Minnesota.
There is no standard PLE for July.
Oh wow.
I guess
Probably
because
really-
the very first 2 days of August, they're just going to use July as a huge ramp up period for it.
I think there's actually there's an MSG Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yeah. Okay. That's probably what it is. They'll do a main event instead. And then I'm sure NXT will have one of theirs.
Yeah. Yep. I think they're building towards one right now.
Right.
Those are always like fun. I used to obviously we've talked about it in NXT and but shout out to Dan. Love that you're back on the handle. But it's nice when NXT events just pop up. Like I'm not really following NXT too much. I know what's going on and I know who's like potentially going to be on the main roster. Like I follow that more so than what's going on. But
right.
It's nice when those random NXT like big shows pop up because they're still pretty good. Like
they are. Yeah, 100%. Their pay-per-views are usually pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't watch them like weekly.
Yeah.
I do pick up stuff here and there. I watch some stuff on social media, and like you, I follow the younger people who are coming up. But I'm not like watching every match every week like I do SmackDown and Raw. But their pay-per-views, I love watching their pay-per-views because their pay-per-views are amazing. HBK does a good job with all that.
Absolutely. No, I mean, other than that, man, I don't have much else. I think that was a good little show. I think this is probably about the time we're probably going to shoot for most of the time, like around this.
Yeah.
So just unless MFT something like it comes rearing its ugly head, makes me go. It took a lot to not go off on that stupid taller guy.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that NXT and we might have not stopped laughing for the week at how much that bothered you.
Yeah,
he brought it up during the sports podcast a couple of times because he couldn't believe how much you got triggered by it.
MFT, man.
It is bad though. I'm not gonna lie, it's bad.
I had actually forgotten that I was like, and then for some reason I forced myself to remember it, and I called my buddy and I hadn't told him about the whole segment, and I was like, my buddy Brett. I don't think you've ever seen him or heard him, but he I was like, dude, do you know what MFT stands for? And he didn't know, so I broke the news to him.
So you ruined his day too.
What are you gonna do?
All right, well that is gonna do it for this week's podcast. If you missed any of it, you can watch it back on our Just Business page, or it will be on Spotify tomorrow. So please check it out. We love you to get some streams and downloads on the actual podcast itself on Spotify. We're not going to always go live like this. Sometimes it'll just be the podcast on Spotify. We'll obviously let you know beforehand. We want to do these first few on lives just to kind of get everybody used to us before we get into the podcast realm of it. But we will release this on Spotify tomorrow. We'll also we may do a few more. Depending on our guest that we have coming up soon. Not sure the date yet, but we may or may not do the live that day. But that being said, we will go ahead and close out today. And we will be back next Wednesday with another breakdown for SmackDown and Raw. If you have any other requests, go ahead.
Yeah, and maybe even we're not going to release it yet because it's not confirmed, but maybe an interview coming up.
Yeah, we got one coming soon. We don't know when, but it's definitely coming soon. But again, if you have any requests, anything you want us to talk about, any kind of topics you want us to go over in the next one, let us know. We are open to suggestions. Anything you want to kind of bring up, we are willing to talk about.
Yep.
But that being said, I will go ahead and play us out. You'll get the closing. Again, I didn't take the closing of our sports show out, so you'll get that. But with that being said, we'll play you out. This is a Turnbuckle Chuckle for ending episode 2.
See.
Yo, we in the game, talking number stakes high. Knowledge and skill, like a bird we fly. Analyzing stats, we don't just guess. Betting on the wind, you know we're blessed. Just the bet slips, we keep it real. Breaking down the odds, you know the deal. Just the bet slips, we're making plays. Informed decisions, we light up the ways. Chasing that victory, hit the big score. Join the community, we're here for more. Rolling with the punches, we look for the signs. Parlays and props, counting all the coins. Every podcast episode, we bring the heat. Strategies laid out, can't accept defeat. Tune into the wisdom, hear our call. In this betting world, we'll never fall. Just the bet slips, we're making plays. Informed decisions, we light up the ways. Chasing that victory, hit the big score. Join the community, we're here for more. On this gambling journey, we ride the bet. With just the bet slips, you ain't seen nothing yet.